For the next panel discussion, I would like to request Mr. Bhavin Bhagat, the President, Ahmedabad, CEO and co-founder, IBGrid, to please kindly come upon the stage with a big round of applause. Along with them, I would like to request Sundi Natarajan, the co-founder, Sparksoft Corporation, TiE Global Board 2026 and 7, to please kindly come upon the stage and join us. Along with them, I would like to request Jain, CEO, Rethinkers Advisory Immediate Past President, TiE Group, to please kindly come upon the stage and join us. And I would like to request Jitin Talwar, the moderator, to please kindly come upon the stage and join us. Partner Talwar Advocates, TP Consultants and XLSCOUT, to please kindly take this session forward. And here we have the topic for building from Bharat, scaling globally, the funding blueprint. I would like to request Mr. Jitin to please kindly take over. Thank you.
Check. Hello. So good afternoon. It's always great to have such a great panel and such a great audience. Thank you so much for being here. Our panel today is about building Bharat, building from Bharat, building for Bharat, and I'm so happy to know about some of the most illustrious panelists that we have. Starting with Sundi, Jain, and Bhavin. So I'll start with a round of introduction, even though most of them don't need introduction, but I'll start with a round of introduction. But before that, I always start with a share. When AI started coming in, I used to think that इतनी मुश्किल से business बनाया, इतनी मुश्किल से कुछ create किया, and suddenly this entire disruption on generative AI. So I used to say, कुछ तो नाजुक मिजाज है हम भी, और ये चोट भी नहीं है अभी. Essentially, this disruption around AI is actually a disruption as well as an opportunity to build stuff which is new. We were talking about this just before the conversation, that this gives you an opportunity to rediscover your business, adapt, and then educate your customers as you move forward. The second disruption that's happening together is this disruption around geopolitics, where the world is going through a huge amount of change. And it affects us because roti, kapda, makan or AI, this is going to be necessary. As we move towards newer paradigms, the AI, the use of AI models, the use of small models, the use of language models will become almost necessary for businesses, companies, countries, and we need to create better paradigms of leveraging. So, as is important, I like to introduce my panelists. I'll start with Bhavin. Bhavin is a builder who spent 2 years of building businesses. He's the CEO of IBGrid, co-founder of India Biz for Sale. He's been instrumental in enabling M&A, fundraising, business transactions for SMEs across India. As immediate and past president of TiE Ahmedabad, he's actively supporting startups and innovation with strong focus on strengthening the entrepreneurial landscape. Welcome. Big round of applause, please. Jain is a serial entrepreneur with a strong track record of building and scaling businesses across mobile, digital, IoT systems. He works at the intersection of technology, capital, and execution. Anytime you need money, that's the guy to go. And I could see that the experience was there. He's founded 14 companies spanning IT, fintech, digital content, mobile applications, energy, advertising, media, training, incubation, etc. Beyond venture building, Jay actively advises family-owned businesses on growth, modernization, and next generation transition, so which is very important now. Sundi Natarajan from Washington DC, co-founder of Sparksoft, which has scaled to win and deliver over $550 million in health, IT domain, primarily to US federal and commercial markets. Sundi's backed and advised startups across in India and US, including Unicorn, Unifor, Grey Orange Robotics, Flam, Geminus AI, etc. He's a charter member of TiE for last 20 years. We first met in South Africa. And he's a builder who's crossed borders and an investor. Any startups who got some great ideas in new companies, you should pitch it, and we'll work through this. So I'll start with Sundi. So just walk us through your journey and how it's been relevant and how it's relevant in these current times, subject to the topic that we've got. So we'll have a first round where we go through, go through our first round of introductions, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you so much. So my journey has been pretty much born and brought up in India, from South India, but then did my schooling in Bilani. Worked in Bombay for a few years, and after that I've been pretty much in the US for the last 30 some years. So what I wanted to touch upon is one, my journey has been for most part building a health IT company called Sparksoft, where we built the health exchange for the Obamacare to begin with, and now using the data to pretty much use it for fraud, waste and abuse and whatnot. But been so fortunate, given the TiE pedigree, and this is probably my 22nd year as a charter member, you get to meet and work with a lot of startups. I've probably invested in 72 plus startups now through my own money, through my family trust and whatnot. But that has given a lot of learning in terms of companies starting from India, then pivoting on a go-to-market to US, and you pretty much get to work with these founders through various phases of their journey, and more importantly, off late with the advent of AI and where the overall geopolitics is settling in. I'm seeing a big trend. Pretty much, it's like a de facto where India is going to be the R&D, where you're going to build products, but then with the mindset of actually getting them to be sold globally. I'll stop there and then add more insights later.
Hello. Oh. Hello everyone. Am I audible? Perfect. Okay. So, thanks Jitin bhai. So maybe दो लाइन से start करना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि we have a lot of entrepreneurs here. So मैं दो लाइन हमेशा बोलता हूँ. हम तो दरिया हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है. हम तो दरिया हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है. जिस तरफ भी चल पड़ेंगे रास्ता बन जाएगा. फिर सर AI हो या और उन्हें कोई टेक्नोलॉजी, we will make it. So as Jitin bhai and Sundi has explained about, so let me just give you the brief. So बिल्कुल एक छोटे से गांव से हूँ मैं, एक सिंपल सी बिजनेस फैमिली बैकग्राउंड से. वहाँ से मिलके हमने सोचा कि क्या हम कुछ नया कर सकते हैं. And that's where we started our journey since age of 14. So I was having tiles manufacturing, cotton ginning with my father's business. So we started from there, but we wanted to do something new. So वहाँ से लेके we have built close to 14 plus startups. एक छोटा सा startup, एक छोटी सी app, कितना डिवोशनल ऐप बना सकती है. So एक 70,000 रुपए की हमने सर इन्वेस्टमेंट किया था गणेश पूजा ऐप. अगर जो CDA में समझते हैं तो बहुत छोटा सा स्टार्टअप होता था. 2003 में हमने स्टार्ट किया था. 70,000 रुपए का गणेश पूजा का ऐप स्टार्ट किया था. And my very first year revenue was 33 crore. So we know that how a small journey to a big corporates like now early salaries you might have heard about a 5. That's all again founded by me. It's again now close to a words of unicorn now. So pretty well that journey from a very small startup to a tech level, that's something we want. But yet after that now I'm working with a lot of family houses, working them, guiding them and building a new age businesses. So what I found are very, very new innovations and the secrets that we are going to talk about, but I want to touch in this conversation is about SMEs and MSMEs. Trust me, we are looking in opportunities outside India, but trust me, there is a great demand in the SMEs and MSME sectors where there is a lot of things we can do it around. So we are started working on these technologies and we'll discuss more about that. So this is the point, Jitin bhai, I would like to touch on that.
So that's a great point, Jay Saab. This is the first time that we are seeing in India, in Bharat, money that is traditional money, like family businesses money, but being willing to and being able to be invested or looking to be invested in deep tech businesses, right? So that's one takeaway possibly from your conversation. So Bhavin ji, your turn.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I worked in pharmaceutical sector for initial career, 15 years of my life, and I'm from family business background. In our family, we had a joint venture with another entity. In 2006, we started that business. In 2010, we figured out it's proving very tricky. There are issues within the management team. And we thought that we would exit from that business. So वो चालू धंधा होता है, किसी को बताए बिना लोगों को अट्रैक्ट करना, आपके एम्प्लॉइज को नहीं पता चलना चाहिए, आपके क्रेडिटर्स को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए, वेंडर्स को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. वो सब चीजें समझ के ये पता चला कि selling a business is very difficult in country like India. And that point of time, we thought we can do something about it. And we started a venture called IndiaBizForSale.com in year 2013. Today we have 15,000 businesses from all over India, from let's say small retail store to a very large factory to a very high-end deep tech startup to D2C companies or agencies and tech companies. What happened is that we did not realize that there is so much appetite in Indian HNIs, especially small to medium-sized business owners, that they wanted to buy business or invest into businesses. So what Jitin was saying, that it is very interesting that traditional business owners or traditional money is also looking to go into startups. So we see that trend on a weekly basis. We have 45,000 investors who are there on IndiaBizForSale.com, and the breadth of those investors is immense. There is someone who is looking to invest 5 lakhs and there is someone who is looking to invest 200 crore. Someone who is from families who own one IPL cricket team to someone who has a small dairy parlor. So all type of investors are there. And we see this trend that they are much more open to invest into growing startup in their own industry, and they think that they can leverage their existing network. So we can talk more about that.
Hello. Yeah, so I think it's great that we are already talking about IP now. AI, IP, right? So money is finding its way into AI, IP, and you're just not looking at companies which are creating a wrapper over something, but actually looking at IP. That is what I've seen. So in that context, and in a general context, I'd like to get to the next point where what trends are you seeing, especially in companies across India or globally, and what trends are likely to come in for businesses which are even in existence or companies which are starting to get into existence.
I think the first overarching trend I want to throw out here is this is mostly to do with the geopolitical things that are happening, right? So countries have realized now that whatever you're building, whether it be cybersecurity or AI, it's going to be very core to your national security or the way companies are getting their IP, everything stacked. So first and foremost, and this is a trend I noticed just a couple of years back, one of the companies where I invested called MCA Cortex, they have some really cool IP that translates all the brainwaves and converts them into things that you can really start predicting and whatnot. The first and foremost thing they did was to wind down their US company and set up an India incorporated company. And that was one of the things that the investors here wanted, because they wanted it to be close to their chest and whatnot. And they also won a huge contract with the Indian Defense Army here. So that's one big trend where this is going to be treated like anybody, and you're going to see China Wall where companies are going to get pretty much attached to whatever core IP or anything they're going to be treated. The second trend I'm more seeing is, come what may, especially from an India side, Bharat side, Bharat has got a lot of advantages, right? Right from the India stack, which is now being copied in 30 or 35 countries. A lot of applications are going to be built on top of this, and guess what? This India stack, starting with the Aadhaar and UPI on top of it, ONDC, has generated so much of data now. They know every single thing about a street vendor or a kirana wala. That is going to be the key, and that's why Google and everybody wants to come in and look at the data and really learn from it. And so, a lot of modes, a lot of things are going to be built, but it's my belief that applications that are going to be built on top of these things are going to be more and more relevant for them to be scaling, and what works here can absolutely be taken to the global markets. I'll stop with these two trends and add more.
So it's not just India stack, but also like Pax Silica. You've got to also look at the US stack, or if your market is say China or one of those places, then you build on top of like the Chinese models, etc. So see what service, what market you're servicing, and accordingly build on top of that. JJ.
Yeah. So let me talk about trends. What is basically on the ground level is working. Okay, it's definitely so. In my previous journey, I built all the companies, got exited from all the companies now. So we just thought, we'll have a chill. But after that, and especially thanks to Trump, who increases the taxes a lot. But second, the kind of the advantage of an AI. So a couple of years back, we started thinking about there is a great opportunity. Since I was meeting with so many family houses very regularly. और बड़े लाला लोग होते थे, क्या कहते हैं, पैसा उनकी जेब से निकलता नहीं था, टेक्नोलॉजी बनाने को तैयार नहीं होते थे. There is a plenty of things were happening. But thanks to the Trump and thanks to the kind of the taxes, उनको लगा कि cost काफी कम करनी चाहिए. And the technology is really, really required. And I think there is a great opportunity we found over there, जहाँ पे उन्हें technology upgrade करने की जरूरत है. And thanks to an AI, the kind of the technology cost has gone driven dramatically low. And the second thing is that the kind of the brain what they were expecting, इससे हमारा revenue या cost कैसे या हमारा profitability कैसे बढ़ेगा. I think that's where we found a space around. So we started working on this, and we'll definitely talk about more on this, that how this kind of a trend especially is now helping SMEs and MSME sectors, that how we can increase the profitability and using the technology. Okay, whether it's an AI, whether it's a computer vision, or whether it's a different technology in this field, how they are using it in this particular their operational things, whether it's a manufacturing industrial area, how they are utilizing it and they are increasing. So I think there is a great space here, and we'll definitely talk about Jitin bhai on this. I'll hand over to Bhavin bhai.
Okay. So I think question was more about India ka khud ka kya. So a couple of years back, in 2024, we were helping a company from Ahmedabad. They were working on a voice AI solution for hiring industry. So they had been into hiring field. They had SaaS product for recruitment, using mostly used by US-based customers. And they, as a company, felt that we have so much data available in terms of voice. We have a lot of those recordings available. So they thought that with those recordings, they will start building a voice AI agent for recruitment industry. हुआ क्या कि डेटा जो भी टोकन्स होते हैं वो बाहर के डेटा होते हैं, और उनका जो कन्वर्सेशन शुरुआत में हो रहा था वो इतना अच्छा हो नहीं रहा था, तो लोग अडैप्ट नहीं कर रहे थे। बाद में वो भाषिनी ऐप आया, जो इंडिया से की बात की, तो भाषिनी हैज collected so many different dialects throughout India, and they were able to use that stack. Then they started improving their voice AI result drastically. So now, top 2 companies out of top 3 companies of India who are into temporary staffing, listed companies, are their customers now. So originally they were servicing only US companies, now they are servicing US companies as well as Indian companies. So ये data का जो importance है कि if you want to serve Indian customers, you will have to collect, you will have to know the nuances of our area. So I think this is our first hand experience that we realize that it's not कि आप copy paste करके कर सकते हो.
So which then brings us to localization, use case localization as a service, right? And as an endpoint or for servicing in the space of AI. You were telling us you're looking at some startups which are servicing local use cases and creating some value from there.
So one of the companies where we invested, I'm sure most of you knows Unifor. So they started with the thesis to basically solve the Indian dialect problem, right? You know, there are a lot of accents within, let's say, Telugu or Tamil. Even within that, you have multiple dialects. And they were trying to use a general out of the product called Nuance to use it, and they said this was not going to work. So they actually started ground up with their own stack that used all the data from all these multiple languages and really start fine-tuning how to really convert these texts to meaningful insights and whatnot. And the aha moment came when this started working. The same problem also existed for customers in the US, right? When you're talking about English, then you have English that an Indian speaks, a Spanish speaks, a German speaks, and combined with it, Spanish and other languages. So the big problem that they're trying to solve for India, which was very, very frugal, right? The kind of cost that they have to use in terms of the processing time and everything. This became like a killer when they wanted to position this for a global market. And then they launched big time, and the investors actually found a much bigger use case to use this as a de facto for almost every single call center. You know, if you talk about Verizon, if you talk about all those guys, everybody wanted this product to be used. So the point I'm getting to is what started as a Bharat use case was built on constraints and cost structure and everything that became really, really scalable when they hit that point.
So that brings, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that I can see who build businesses in the era of globalization. So my question to you, let me just have a counter question, is how do you build an AI business for a global market sitting in India? Is that opportunity still there, given what's happening across the world? Will the US market still have an appetite to work with an Indian model?
No, absolutely. So there are two things I'm looking at it, right? So India predominantly has been a services-based industry, and so the need for the US now is obviously integrating these AI, and when people say, LLMs and all these things will be commoditized very soon, believe me. The way in which all these investments are being made, so the next level of detail will come to how am I going to really look at, let's say, a workflow, and how do I automate it, right? So for that automation, then you are looking at deep expertise in, let's say, each and every sector. It could be life sciences, it could be any of those things, but then that is really where I see an opportunity for India to be playing, where they can technically look at any manual workflow and say, now I can automate it because there is a commodity of infrastructure, commodity of LLMs that are available, but the richness in how you integrate, how you make this relevant, how you connect and make sure the users consume it is really where the sweet sauce is. And that I see as an opportunity for people in this room to really take on, and that's going to be the next wave of startups that are going to be coming. Imagine a long time back, we have nothing but then web. Everything had to be webified, right? Then we had the mobile curve, and everything had to be mobile enabled. Now you have this AI, where everything has to be AI enabled, and that is going to be the role for India. And the rate and the scale in which we have the population that is already skilled and reskilled will be a killer. That is good.
So what we guys are trying to work around it, that these are the technologies we are working around, that how we can start training the model. Similarly, एक और field है जो हमारे काफी सारे प्राचीन शास्त्रास होते थे, they are in a very very different languages on the spirituality. Those texts and this is not recognized anywhere. Again, there is a great opportunities are available. There is a dedicated departments are available. So we started training the model over there. So we are about to launch on those sectors. So these are the different opportunities where the AI can't. And as Bhavin ने mentioned क्या, ऐसी काफी सारी opportunities available है इंडिया में, क्योंकि languages काफी अलग-अलग हैं, writing habits अलग-अलग हैं, लिखने का style अलग-अलग है. If really we can train that model, there is a great opportunity around it. So this is another trend that we are working around.
So the devil in this modern era lies in detail. है ना, हर जहाने दीगर है, मतलब every opportunity is an opportunity in itself.
Right.
So क्वेश्चन ये था कि यहाँ से भारत से बाहर बेच सकते हैं कि नहीं बेच सकते. So some of you would have heard about this company called Emergent. Traditionally, SaaS company को 1 million revenue, 10 million revenues, 100 million revenue करते करते 5, 6, 7, 8 साल लग जाते हैं. ये कंपनी ने फोकस किया कि स्मॉल टू मीडियम साइज बिजनेसेस को कैसे हम लोग AI पे लेके आए. So they built a vibe coding platform for those kind of users. उनका 8 महीने के अंदर $100 million का ARR हो गया, यानी 1 महीने में $12.5 million का रेवेन्यू. करते क्या है, वाइब कोडिंग सिखाते हैं. आपको जो एक्सेल पे काम करते हो, व्हाट्सएप पे काम करते हो, वो आप कमांड देके आप बना सकते हो खुद के एजेंट. And 40% of their users are SMBs from outside India. 70% of them never had any background with AI earlier. 15 million users in 8 months. तो definitely possible है. अगर एक कंपनी आपको करके दिखाती है, only thing I would say is that our ambition and our speed. That's the only multiplier factor we get with AI. That we should not think about 20, 30, 40% growth. We should think about 3, 4, 5, 6x growth in 1, 2, 3 years time. That's only my take.
Excellent. And all the gentlemen here are examples of how they've created great companies from small cities or small cities that are coming in, including Ahmedabad or Indore or DC and Chandigarh. Similar. Anyways, great to be in touch. Thank you so much. Appreciate and thank you.
We would like to request our panelists to please stay back. I would like to request Mr. Vishal Kedia and Mr. Robin Agarwal to please kindly come upon the stage for the felicitation. Well, we request our panelists to please kindly step forward. Everyone, please put your hands together. Well, once again, I would like to request everyone, please put your hands together. I can see still there are members. To Jitni members, very happy. We request all of them to please put your hands together. For all the panelists for concluding it so well. Thank you so much once again. Well, thank you so much for pulling out this session. Congratulations to the entire team. Thank you so much for discussing it in so depth. Well, I would like to request, please kindly come upon the stage and join Mr. Rocky Jagtani and Mr. Puneet Verma, because now we are going to announce about AI course of TiECON members, जिनके लिए special है. we request all of them to please kindly join. Of course, with the Rupachi. Yes, sir. We request you to please kindly come up on the stage and join. For the entire dignity, guys, we need a big round of applause. Come on, put your hands together. So now for the TiE members, we are going to announce something really special.